In a sterile mental health facility, Anita, better known as Needy, languishes in a dark, high-walled isolation cell. Her path here was paved with aggression. Most recently, she met a nurse's kindness with a face full of spit. Now, trapped with only her thoughts, Needy's mind drifts back to the beginning, back to the mysterious town of Devil's Kettle. The town is named after a waterfall where the water vanishes into a black hole that defies science. It is a fitting backdrop for a story about things that disappear and return changed. Needy was always the shadow to Jennifer's son. Jennifer, the breathtaking, popular queen of their college. Needy, the shy, insecure tag-along who consistently sidelined her boyfriend, Chip, to stay in Jennifer's orbit. One night, Jennifer drags Needy to a dive bar to see a band. Despite Needy's intuition screaming that the lead singer, Nicholas, is bad news, Jennifer is smitten. Then chaos strikes. A short circuit turns the bar into a tinderbox. Screams fill the air as the building is engulfed in flames. Needy managed to pull Jennifer through a broken bathroom window, but the safety of the night air was short-lived. Nicholas pulls up in a van, inviting Jennifer to join the band. Against Needy's desperate pleas, Jennifer climbs in and disappears into the night. Worry gnaws at Needy as she recounts the night to Chip. Her fears are realized when a noise echoes through her house. She finds Jennifer sitting in the dark, her face a mask of blood and a chilling smirk playing on her lips. In a horrifying display, Jennifer raids the fridge for raw chicken, devouring it like an animal before screaming and vomiting a thick, black sludge. As quickly as she arrived, she is gone. The next morning brings a reality that doesn't fit the nightmare. Jennifer arrives at class looking more radiant, energetic, and confident than ever. While their teacher offers a somber moment of silence for those lost in the fire, Jennifer lets out a cruel laugh. Needy watches her best friend with a growing sense of dread. The girl she knew is gone, replaced by something predatory and unrecognizable. Needy tries to explain the impossible to Chip, that Jennifer is possessed, a vessel for something dark. But the warning comes too late. Jennifer has already set her sights on a new prize, the college football captain. The horror in Devil's Kettle was only just beginning. In the wake of the fire, the college football captain was a hollow shell of grief. Sensing his vulnerability, Jennifer lured him into the dark woods near the school under the guise of consolation. It was a scene of surreal, quiet terror. As she began to seduce him, the forest grew still, and the local wildlife, birds and small animals, gathered in a silent, watchful circle as if witnessing a dark ritual. The air curdled when Jennifer's face contorted, her teeth lengthening into jagged fangs. The captain's screams tore through the trees as she tore into him, leaving a mutilated husk for a local teacher to discover. Back at home, Needy felt the shift in the atmosphere. When she called her friend to voice her fears about the rising body count, Jennifer simply laughed it off. To prove her new, terrifying reality, Jennifer held a lighter to her tongue, watching the flesh sizzle without flinching. "I am a god," she whispered. As a month passed, the god began to wither. Without a fresh kill, Jennifer grew gaunt, sickly, and gray. To reclaim her radiance, she lured another student to an abandoned, skeletal house under construction. As her eyes bled into a demonic hue, she slaughtered him, feasting on his flesh to restore her porcelain beauty. Simultaneously, Needy was plagued by psychic link-induced nightmares. She felt Jennifer's hunger and her location. While driving through the night, a blood-soaked Jennifer slammed onto her windshield like a predator. Needy fled into her home, only to find Jennifer already lounging in her bed, looking perfectly normal once more. Cornered, Jennifer finally peeled back the curtain on that fateful night. She told Needy how the band, Nicholas and his disciples, were Satanists who had dragged her to the waterfall to sacrifice a virgin for fame. But Jennifer wasn't a virgin. The ritual was botched. While the band got their fame, Jennifer was left as a vessel for a starving demon. "I couldn't hurt you," Jennifer purred. "That's why I ate the chicken. You're my best friend." She proved her immortality by slashing her own arm, watching the skin knit back together in seconds before leaping effortlessly from a second-story window. Desperate, Needy turned to the occult section of the library. Between the dusty pages of ancient texts, she found the confirmation she feared. A botched sacrifice creates a succubus that must feed on human flesh to maintain its beauty and strength. There was only one way to end the nightmare: a blade through the heart. When she tried to warn Chip, he looked at her with pity, suggesting she seek psychiatric help. But Needy knew the clock was ticking. The school dance was approaching, a literal banquet for a demon, and the entire student body was on the menu. The dance floor was a blur of strobe lights and teenage apathy. But for Needy, the air felt thick with impending death. She had begged Chip to stay home, but he had laughed it off, dismissing her warnings as a breakdown. Now, as the music pulsed, Needy realized the two people she cared about most were missing: Chip and Jennifer. Panic propelled Needy toward Chip's house, only to find he had left for the dance via a shortcut through the woods. She sprinted into the darkness, her heart hammering against her ribs. Nearby, Jennifer had already intercepted her prey. She whispered poison into Chip's ear, claiming Needy was unfaithful, trying to dissolve his resolve with lies and seduction. She led him into the skeletal frame of an abandoned building, but as she moved in for the kill, Chip pulled away. His love for Needy was a shield Jennifer couldn't pierce with words. Infuriated, the demon dropped the mask. Her jaw unhinged, and she lunged, sinking her teeth into his neck. Needy burst into the room to a nightmare, her best friend feasting on the man she loved. She threw herself into the fray, a desperate blur of hair and nails. Jennifer, now a hovering, snarling creature of the night, mocked her, screaming that her hunger wasn't limited to boys. In the chaos, a dying Chip found one last surge of strength. He drove a metal rod into Jennifer's stomach, a blow that sent the wounded succubus fleeing into the night. But the victory was hollow. Moments later, Chip took his last breath in Needy's arms. Grief transformed into a cold, sharp blade of vengeance. Needy didn't go to the police. She went to Jennifer's bedroom. The final confrontation was a whirlwind of sisterly history and demonic violence. In the struggle, Jennifer sank her teeth into Needy's neck, a desperate, predatory mark. But Needy didn't falter. Remembering the ancient lore, she drove a utility knife straight through Jennifer's heart. The demon withered. The girl died. When Jennifer's mother rushed into the room, she found only a blood-soaked Needy standing over the corpse of her daughter. The story circles back to the cold, dark cell. Needy wasn't just sent to the asylum for murder. She was sent there because she was changing. That final bite from Jennifer had passed on the contagion. Needy discovered she could now levitate, her strength fueled by a simmering, unnatural rage. She didn't stay a prisoner for long. Using her new powers, she escaped the facility and returned to the origin of the evil, the waterfall at Devil's Kettle. From the depths, she retrieved the very knife Nicholas had used to sacrifice Jennifer. The film ends not with a whimper, but with a bloodbath. In a luxury hotel suite, the band, now wealthy and riding the high of their satanic success, is celebrating. They don't hear the door open. They don't see the shadow move. The CCTV footage later reveals a lone girl walking calmly away from a room full of slaughtered musicians. Needy had completed the circle, delivering a brutal, supernatural justice to the men who started it all.